How you feel today, Mom? So what were you just asking me? You were asking me about how long were you married to who? Dad?
I don't remember what I said.
Oh, you were asking how long you were married to Dad. About 40 years.
And how long was I married to Bud?
You were married to Bud for 24.
God.
You've been married since you were about 26 years old. And you were widowed and left by yourself at 90. So that's a lot of years. Quit biting your nails. But anyway, you got any questions you want to ask me? Anything about anything going on? I as I told you, I balanced your checkbook today.
Oh, did you?
Came out to the penny.
Good.
It's just easier for me to do it, Mom. So I print it and I put it all away.
Well, it always does come out to the penny.
It does, yeah, because I ensure I put all your deposits in.
Yeah.
So all your money's in. You're not getting ripped off. Okay? Quit biting your
No.
nails.
The only person that could rip me off would be you, and I trust you.
Yeah, I'm not going to rip you off. Anyway, so I figured today you want to play a little. We can play a game of Scrabble.
I can do
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I make you make the words and let's see what else. Anything else, Mom?
Uh-uh.
Yesterday we went and got a haircut. So
Oh, yeah, I can tell.
yeah, you can tell. Yeah, and I blew dry your hair today. You got a sweater on because the house, Mom. It's not really cold in the house. What it is it's the air conditioner.
Yeah.
I have it set at 79. That's not that cool. But what happens is now you can
air
feel it, the
blasting.
vent right there.
Yeah.
It's the vents. And it's working very well, the air conditioner, and therefore you're getting, but I mean, I can't put it up to 80 something. It'd be way too hot.
This is fine.
Yeah,
Having this on makes
exactly. I was talking to that man at the coffee bar. He knew Bud and you.
Oh, who's the bad?
I don't know what his name is. He was a classmate of Bud's at West Point.
Oh, really?
And he brought up Bernie Rogers. Remember Bernie Rogers? He was Bud's classmate. I think he was number 1 in the class. And remember, he's the only 4-star general in Bud's class.
Oh, really?
Bud was only a 3-star general. And, but he liked Bud. And he brought it up that he goes, yeah, and your stepfather, Bud, he worked for Vernon von Braun.
Braun, yeah.
And I said, yes, he did, as a matter of fact. You remember that? And he goes, oh, yeah. And I go, yeah, he did. That's how he got his 3rd star, is by working for Werner von Braun, that German scientist that defected. I said, and I was telling the man, there's another guy in his class, I don't know what the guy's name was that he knew, that when they were shot down in World War II, he created this coding system where he was able to find other people, pilots that were shot down, and he was able to pick them up where they were.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all rescued in one large group. I think there were about 100 of them. I don't remember what that man's name was, but there's a lot of
I kind
stories.
of remember that.
Yeah, remember, it's some guy in Bud's class created some kind of coding system when he got shot down, and he was able to find, he went around and they were able to pick up other airmen that were shot down, and then he was able to do a coding to where they were to be rescued from the Japanese. So, man, that generation, Bud's, because the man who's in Bud's class, I go, y'all only did 3 years. Because they only did 3 years at West Point that year.
Oh,
Bud only was in West Point for 3 years because Japan had bombed Pearl Harbor and they needed pilots. So they graduated them in 3 years. So.
What happened to your father?
Your first husband? He was a pilot as well, but he died. He died of pulmonary fibrosis. Well, he had breathing issues, but he died of a heart attack. You were coming home from church on a Sunday, 7:30 in the morning. You went to 7:30 mass. You got in the garage and he couldn't breathe, and then you took him to the hospital. They intubated him, and he was in intensive care, but he died that night. So And then you remarried, you little hottie. So, but the man today, I don't know what that guy's name was. He said, God, I remember your mom, you, coming up to this pool early. I go, I know. I said, man, I was just telling my mom the other day how, I was just reminding you how, I mean, Mom, you were so motivated. You used to get up.
Yeah, I took care of myself.
You took care of yourself, and you had a routine. You used to go to the pool, get the paper, leave it, go to the pool, do your 30 minutes, come back from the pool, ride the stationary bicycle with your newspaper and read it while you did 30 minutes on that. When you finished that, you usually made breakfast, finished the paper. If you weren't doing anything that day, but most days you did something. After you did that, you would go in and take a shower, get yourself all dressed, makeup and everything. And then if you had something to do that day, you did it. But a lot of times you had golf at 8 o'clock, so you were up at 5 getting all those things done. Or you bowled on Wednesdays. You used to bowl on Wednesdays, and then you became a substitute bowler, and you played bridge, and you
wasn't I a starter at the...
and you worked at Patrick as a starter when you first moved here. You took it over from Hebert, Mrs. Hebert, or whatever her name was. Yeah. Remember, she had a son. Now she was a really nice lady. She had her son was a general in the Air Force, but he got discharged honorarily, but there was some scandal with her son. I think he was a 2-star general, a 3-star general. Yeah. But yeah, you worked at the base as a starter, because I remember when I came to visit you, because your house wasn't done, you were living in a furnished apartment down in O'Galley, and you were working at Patrick as a starter. So
yeah, I just happened upon that. They needed somebody. I said, what do they do? I'll do that.
Yeah, and so that was kind of a little gig that you had, and you kind of liked it. You know, you seemed to like it.
Well, yeah, I got to meet everybody.
Yep. And then you didn't do that anymore, and you used to go back and forth because Bud and you had a place in Virginia, so you spent part of the year here and part of the year there, and then that got to be a little bit too much, and you decided to just stay down here permanently. You lived in Arlington, Fairfax. You had the townhouse in Fairfax, and then you sold that. I don't know why, but you moved to Arlington to the Representative, that big high-rise condo. And that was right near the Army Navy Country Club. So, and that's where you spent, 4 or 5 months. Remember when I went up there for the very first President's Cup, and Bud had volunteered for it, and it was in Manassas, Virginia. And I was flying up for it. You got tickets for me to go, and Bud got sick. Something happened to him. I don't remember what it was, but he had to go to Walter Reed. And he said, no, go to the tournament. And so you and I went to Manassas, and it was raining. It was like a rainy day. And but I think it was the very first President's Cup that they ever held. We went to that one. It was in Manassas, Virginia. So... yep, we've done a few things, you and I. I mean, it's funny, living in Orlando and you living here. It wasn't like I saw you all the time, even when you were here, but you weren't here all the time either. Oh. Because even when you lived here, you were traveling.
Place up at the Representative.
Yeah, and you lived in Washington, so I would go up there to visit you on occasion. But you were but man, physically though, Mom, that's why you're 98, going to be 98, and you seem to be cranking along, because that's what the man said this morning. I don't know what that guy's name is, that classmate of Bud's, but he said, man, your mother, she used to come up here every, and she was, because he said, did you get wet yesterday? That's how the conversation started. When I went to the pool yesterday, it was raining. So I said, oh yeah, I went to the pool. I said, my mom said, why are you going to the pool? It's raining out, you'll get wet. And I go, well, I'm going to get wet when I get in. I said, they have that, I told the guy, you have that system here where if there's lightning, you can't swim and the light goes off. So I said, I didn't bring the golf cart or my bicycle. I said, I went ahead and took my car. I go, and he goes, oh, so you did get wet? And I go, I did. I said, but Lisa Schroeder was in there, so it wasn't just me. So he kind of laughed, and that's how our conversation started. So, but you're doing good, Mom. Next week you got an appointment with McGrath, just to your checkup, like your 3-month checkup. You know.
You gonna take me?
Yeah, Susan takes you usually.
Oh, okay.
But when we go together, I pull up, you get out with Susan, and then I kind of wait for you guys. I kind of let her do it. I like her to do it because she asks all the right questions, and there's not a lot to ask. I mean, there's not a lot you can do, Mom. Right now,
I get all those little.
those are mine.
Oh, they're
When I
yours.
moved in with you, yeah, those are mine. That 9/11 figurine and the other stuff, that's stuff that I had. Some of this stuff is mine. When I moved in, I had to bring it. I had to drag it with me. So, not much. I got rid of most of my stuff, but those 2 curio cabinets, that furniture, that chair, that table over there, some of this stuff is mine. It blended into your house, so I kept it in that, and some of it was brand new stuff that I had just purchased. So, but I only had the storage unit for about 5 months, if even that long. And man, I'm glad I got rid of it because that thing is like $200 a month.
Really?
That's a lot of money to store junk.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're not mindful about it, I mean, why are you doing that? You either need to get in there and either you're going to keep it or you're not, you know. So, and you know, a lot of stuff, I mean, stuff that has sentimental value you can't replace. I understand that. But a lot of furniture stuff, I got rid of it. And it was good stuff. I gave it to that girl. I told her to come over from Orlando. She wanted it before I left. I said, let me keep it. But there was some really good stuff. But I thought, you know what? If I really want it, I'll just go buy it again, you know. But as you get older, you want to deplete your possessions.
Yeah.
So that people that have to clean up after you don't have a lot to clean up, you know. So, and I've kind of been a minimalist, you know, where I kind of minimize what I need. I try not to have too much because I've never had the need to have a lot of stuff. But so anyway, what are you doing, Mom? You keep biting your nails, sweetie.
Trying to get that one thing down.
There ain't nothing to get down. Oh, and I don't know if you remember this. Guess who called us on the way back from the beauty parlor?
Who?
Lynn, your nail person.
Oh, did she?
She's in California. She says, I'm in California. You know, because she wanted to see how you were, basically, if you're still alive. So we talked to her in the car. She's doing good. You know, the reason she moved back to California is her husband suffered a stroke about a year ago.
Oh.
I can't remember. And I don't know if it happened in California or I think it happened here.
Here, I think.
And then he went to they transported him to California, where I think family members were looking out for him while she was still working at the nail place as the manager. And then I think she retired. She wanted to retire, and she needed to take care of him. And so I asked her how he was doing. She said he's not well. It won't be long, is what she said. So
she's gonna come back then?
No, I asked her. I said, "Are you gonna come back to this area?" And she said no, because her family lives out there in California. So she said no.
She was so nice.
Yeah, she said I just wanted to say hi, and and then you talked to her, and then I said, "Well, I've got your number plugged in." I said, "My mom's list of friends is dwindling." I said, her good friend, we just found out she died in December. She was 98. That? Kate Hawkins.
Oh, Kate.
Yeah, Kate. So, yeah. The thing is, Mom, is when you get to your age.
Yeah. It's day by day.
Yep.
You never know.
What do we say? You never know the day or the hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You used to say that in all the sermons. We know not the day nor the hour.
I think it was Father Higgins. I think. So, man, everybody's gone, Mom, when you think about it. That's what you have to be it's hard to remember, but you're 98, so anybody that was your age or anybody older than you is most likely dead.
Yeah.
If they're, not always, if they're 1 or 2 years, they could still be alive, but I would argue most likely they are
Not
deceased.
at this age, yeah.
Yeah, if they were 20 years younger than you, then I would say, yeah, they might be still alive. Kate was your age, you know, and something happened to her, you know, so, because she was in a care facility, not assisted living.
Did she die though?
Yeah, she died in December, is what somebody said. So they're all waiting for you, you know,
When the saints go marching in.
when the saints go marching in, you know.
I wanna be with among that number.
And when the saints go marching. Any questions about anything? Your finances, your mail, anything, Mom?
No.
Everything has been handled, and you don't have anything to stress about.
I know. I'm you,
All right.
babe.
All right. Well, do you want to play a game of Scrabble?
I don't care.
Yeah, we'll play a game.